As of writing this script, we got a leak for the upcoming Kirby game, Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe. The leak is of the box art's backside. Now I know it doesn't sound like much, but we learned of a new mode called Magolor Epilogue. Now at first, it may seem like they are doing Meta Nightmare again, but with Magolor. But, with a screenshot and a special render from the back, with the help of some previous knowledge, we may predict a new mode's plot. Those Kirby fans that just play the games and possibly watch the anime may just think that new mode equals new bosses with new lore probably, which equals new arena, which equals even more lore. But how could we already find out the lore? Well, let's look at the box art. For some reason, Magolor is somewhat monochrome. We also see there's fire and a demon-like fatty puffer. That monochrome-looking Magolor also has torn clothes as if he was injured or in some fight. This last point doesn't really do anything for my theory that I'll say in a minute, but Magolor can gain some magical skills and level to actually discuss the theory itself. Still shorter than getting the name for Tears of the Kingdom. I believe Magolor will die. Now, spoiler warnings for these games on screen right now. So, at the climax of Return to Dreamland, we fight the four-headed dragon, Landia. After defeating it, Magolor takes the Master Crown from one of its heads and puts it on. I'll likely discuss the Master Crown in another video. It controls Magolor and attempts to take control of the galaxy. Using Landia, split after it's split in four, and super abilities, we defeat him. After that, we learn that he knew someone who fought Kirby before, likely Marx. It's possible Magolor died from the fight that I mentioned. In the novel, Meta Knight and the Knights of Hades, we learn Hades, the equivalent of the underworld, is a monochrome and lacks color. Fire, demons, monsters are all associated with the underworld. The torn clothes likely were from this fight with Kirby. Here's a gist of how I think the story could go out. Magolor wakes up in pain, wondering where he is. A butterfly any Kirby lore buff will recognize. That butterfly tells Magolor he has died. He gives him some basic attack to use for defense. Morphinite, in that novel I mentioned earlier, is described to be from the underworld. We may meet Marx, who has also been killed. Fueled by anger, rage, and revenge, to get back at Kirby, he joins the team. They could also possibly find Galactonite, either because of this is where his soul could be stored when he's in that crystal, or this is just Galactonite from some other dimension. But they go on a journey to leave, fighting demons and getting skills along the way. The final boss of this could be Dark Nebula, who is the ruler of the underworld and final boss from Squeak Squad. This all implies part of Superstar Ultra is after Return to Dreamland. But how would he learn of Kirby from Marx before this, if Marx is dead, probably? Well, Magolor would learn of Kirby and his power from Marx some other time, but also find about their fight when he's in Hades. Hades' time could also be faster than the rest of reality. Super excited for the game to come out and see if I'm right. But for the rest of this month, along with this video, I'll be posting some videos about the Ancients to celebrate Return to Dreamland's release throughout February.